Jacob, you have that paperwork done, sir? Yeah, because it's due soon.
Paperwork?
You have that paperwork, sir? Because we got to get it done right away.
Yes.
Yes, we got to get it done.
It's done. If we're talking about the same thing, it is completed.
Oh, wait. It's Friday.
It is Friday,
and we are friends.
We are.
We don't have to talk about work things because we're friends only on Friday.
That's true. Very true.
Did you like my bit that I just made up? Hello, my name is Hunter.
Hello, my name is Jacob.
And this is the Only Friends on Friday podcast.
A podcast about everything creepy and crawly that you want to learn about.
Creepy and crawly and crazy on Molly.
Who knew Hunter was a rapper?
And this episode's gonna be good because we're in a new surrounding.
We are.
A quieter background, maybe.
Much quieter.
Almost too quiet.
Yeah, my ears hurt.
Because of all the silence. So, I think before we get started, Jacob, we need to talk about your addiction that you have. So, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
Do you or do you not slide open your phone, go to camera or Snapchat to selfie it on up and then never take the picture? Is that some, cause I see you on the reg, open that boy up, do some slight duck lips?
I wouldn't go that far as to say slight duck lips.
Okay, it is an unnatural lip pose.
A lip curl.
The lip curl that you do.
Oh man,
a little too often.
A little too often. It's just I'm trying to see the how the selfie game is for the day.
Okay.
You know? See if I need to send selfies or pictures of the wall to those in my Snapchat.
Okay.
You know?
Sure. So I think the only way for you to heal from this is to, when you go to do it, just take the picture. Don't act like you're gonna take the picture.
Just take the picture and whatever happens, happens. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I think I can do that.
Okay. We did solve another Jacob addiction of the week.
Thank God. I would be a mess without this.
It's like a little therapy session every Friday for you.
Exactly. Making me a better person 1 week at a time.
There you go, bud.
Hunter, what day is it today?
Well, I'm glad you asked because it is National Aunt and Uncle Day.
Whoa. That's a day.
Do you have an aunt or uncle?
I have multiple.
Do I have an aunt or uncle? Yes, is the answer. I am/will be an aunt or uncle. I guess I'd be the uncle one, right?
He hasn't decided yet.
So, I only have nieces. About to have another niece. So, what they call me Hunkle. That's what they call me. And I don't know if it's for my hunky exterior bod or if it's because it's Hunter Uncle.
Hunkle sounds like a creature that lives in a cave.
Well, I did just purchase a new cave. Thanks for asking.
Like the tale of the almighty Hunkle that'll bring you to its cave.
Jacob, that's another episode that we talk about the mythical Hunkle.
It's like a short, stubby creature.
What the frick? That's so messed up.
That has just one of those Flintstone bats that Bam Bam has.
So you're just saying cavemen look like hunkles?
Exactly. It's just a really jacked caveman, and it's called a hunkle.
You're the worst.
So I know you're a really jacked caveman.
Okay.
Take it how you wish.
Bud.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that. You know what also today is?
What's today, Hunter?
It's National Coffee Milkshake Day.
Coffee milkshake day.
Have you ever had a coffee milkshake?
I've never had a coffee milkshake, nor have I ever heard of one.
I've never heard of one until this time today. I have coffee milkshakes prepared for us.
Do you really?
No.
Okay.
But what if I did?
Why would you do that to me?
I do think that might be a delicious thing, maybe. But hey, Jacob, do you know what also today is?
This day is full of fun activities. What other day is it, sir?
It's Doppelgänger Day.
Oh, man.
For us, at least.
Yes, for us and all our pals. So we just revealed what today's episode is going to be about. Not that you didn't see it on the title.
No.
You ignored the title because that's just the kind of person you are.
Aw.
But yes, it is Doppelganger Day today.
Okay, not knowing any facts, what do you think a doppelganger is?
I don't want to say that on the air.
Just from the name, Doppelgänger.
Wow. I hope this is rated explicit on iTunes.
Oh, goodness. Not a doppelganger, sir.
It falls under the same category.
Does
in
it?
my head.
Okay, sure.
If I just stumbled upon the word doppelganger, because when you look up doppelganger on the internet, it actually has those the letters with the accents above it. So I think it was some sort of foreign activity.
Oh, okay. So it looks a little. Is this a German word? Is it?
I thought it was German.
Doppelgänger. Right? I think that's how they say it. So doppelganger, it is a German word, German folklore, and doppel meaning double, and Gänger meaning goer, right? That's how that word is spelled?
Double goer.
Double goer. That boy's a double goer. So, Jacob.
Yes, Hunter.
If you don't mind, why don't we start the creepy part?
Oh, yeah? Okay, let's start this creepy part. Let's get this show on the road. We are told from a young age that we are all individuals, one of a kind, and that no one is quite like us. We're special. We're all different. But what if that's not exactly the case?
What?
How could that not be the case if I'm not myself?
Okay.
Who are we?
We're the Only Friends on Friday podcast, Jacob. We've been over this.
For those of you who don't know.
Subscribe.
Goodness. The word doppelganger is German and translates as double goer. In Irish folklore, there are references to the fetch or apparition that is a replica of a living person in every way and yet casts no shadow.
What?
How does one cast no shadow?
No shadow? So that's like the opposite of the shadow people.
Where are your atoms, boy? You're made of nothing. But according to age-old German folklore, all living creatures have a spirit double who is invisible but identical to the living individual. That'd be a cool person to hang out with.
It would.
We'd be we would have the same sense of humor. We'd like the same things.
Hey, bud, I like your shoes. Oh, you have the same shoes? Me too.
It says nothing here about the same outfit. But maybe you have the same style of clothing, so it's a possibility, I guess.
It's a possibility.
Oh boy, I have so many questions.
Okay.
These second selves are perceived as being distinct from ghosts, which only appear after death. And sometimes they are described as the spiritual opposite or negative of their human counterpart. Whoa,
so this boy, this ghostly boy...
He's not a ghostly boy. He is... You're right. He's distinct from a ghost.
I may have blacked that out.
Were you even listening?
Yeah, I was. So this me that is not me is the negative of me. Whoa.
What would the negative of you be like, Hunter?
Retinaha. That's my name backwards. That's his name. And here's the thing. The negative of me would be an ugly dummy.
I think they look like you.
No.
Regardless.
If it's the negative, it'd be an ugly
looks
dummy.
Like, Hunter, do we need to have a conversation?
Because I'm so...
About your self-esteem.
Because I'm so damn sexy and smart. I think that's it.
But he looks just like you, Hunter. It's just his characteristics are opposite.
So my hair is slicked back, ready to be with my briefcase businessman. And he has his devil lock haircut and his skateboard.
And I think there's some eyeliner involved.
I think so. He is a goth. He does goth rap.
He is a goth.
He is a goth. He performs emo rap. But that's, so it's Global Hunter Dan. What would the negative Jacob be?
Oh, goodness. I don't even know who my real self is, Hunter.
I'm just trying to find my actual self.
I have yet to find myself, sir, so I couldn't tell you. I'm a hip-hoppity boy. I'm just all over the place.
Okay.
My doppelganger probably just gave up at this point. He said, I don't know how to act, sir.
I don't know how to be the opposite of this boy, because one day he was wearing Playboy shirts and a backwards cap, and then the other day he's fisherman.
And then another day he's wearing Vans with skinny jeans. What is this kid?
What is this guy doing?
I am all over the place, dear Lord.
One day he's beard, one day he's no beard. Would your doppelganger have, a beard or no beard? Because if it's the negative...
It's just back and forth with him, you know?
What a crazy guy he is.
So, does that mean if you are a bad person, your doppelganger is just a saint?
Oh, right?
Is that how that works, Amber? No. You're shaking your head over there.
You guys are so way off topic.
We don't read, we just know this knowledge.
In a supernatural sense, doppelgoers have always been considered as omens of bad luck or even signs of impending death. A doppelganger seen by a person's relative or friend was said to signify that illness or danger would befall that person, while seeing one's own doppelganger was said to be an omen of sudden death. If seen, the likeness is said to wreak havoc in the mind of the person they are shadowing, planting malicious or harmful thoughts and causing great confusion for all around.
I would be confused if I saw myself and I was not looking in the mirror.
I would think so too. This is why in most cultures, beginning communication with one's own doppelganger is strongly feared.
Yeah, I would have some questions.
So if I see myself on the street, that's me, but not me. He's kicking people's shins. I wouldn't do that, but it's me. I'd be like, hey bud, come on. And then I die? Doppelgangers, or references to the existing of another self, have featured in works of fiction for centuries. In Greek mythology, Narcissus falls in love with his own reflection, and in Edgar Allan Poe's William Wilson, William meets a boy at his boarding school who is his exact double, and who copies his every mannerism.
What's a mannerism?
What? You're kidding. You're trying to joke,
I was
right?
trying to joke,
okay,
yeah.
I was gonna say, I think a mannerism is like,
Is that like an aneurysm?
but only for men? Okay.
That was a sniper shot from across the room.
It was. It had to freaking, you had to, all right, hold on, I've lost my spot.
If you didn't know, that's the noise you make when you get shot.
The twin pursues William throughout his life as he dabbles in darker and darker vices, maddened by his presence. William stabs him at a masked ball, only to find that his own body begins bleeding. Wow.
Would that be suicide?
I think so. Because, well, I mean, maybe he didn't know that if he stabbed himself, he was going to be a bleeder boy.
His name was William, right?
Yeah.
That man saw his doppelganger and said, there's only enough room for one William in this town.
He said that boy must be named Willie Wilson.
Why would you want to kill yourself? Not in a suicidal way, but, you know, you see yourself and you're like, the first thought that comes to your head is, I want to cause you harm.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, maybe when you see yourself and it's you and it's not a mirror, it's you on the street, in a coffee shop, you want to, I mean, what's your instinct? To befriend your other half that is you?
I'm trying to put myself in this situation, and I think if I was, you know, in the local coffee shop and the door rang, as it does when someone walks in, and I look.
Ding dong.
Exactly. And it's myself. I don't know.
Just grab the blappo, or do you just shake his hand?
I don't think so. That's what I'm trying to determine here. Because, like, I'm not going one way or the other. I'm just kind of stuck in the middle. I would be in shock. I would just look at him and be like, look at that good-looking man that just walked in the coffee shop, you know?
Sure.
No, I wouldn't say that.
So, okay, hold on. So you walked in the coffee shop and he rang the doorbell and you answered that doorbell? I'm confused on what scenario we're in.
Okay, so you know when you walk into a public establishment, some of them have the door alert thing. When you open the door, you know, there's one of those, you know, and you tend to look at the door when that goes off because you're like, who's coming in?
Who's coming in? A robber? Or my doppel boy?
Exactly. You got to be on your toes nowadays. But anyways, yeah, I'm not sure what I would do. Do you know what you'd do, Hunter?
I think what I would do if I saw my doppelganger, I would try to look away as quickly as possible, just knowing the knowledge I know now that I would die slowly after.
But you already saw him. You might as well find out some information.
I guess so. Well, I think that if I saw myself, I would say, hey bud, where are you from? Where do you live? Not with me, obviously.
Or do you? Did you just decide to reveal yourself?
Did you just come out of my body?
Oh, good. Okay. Anyways, while tales may seem far-fetched and unlikely, there are real cases in which people claim to have met their more sinister double. How so? I thought you died. Okay. Abraham Lincoln, who famously saw two reflections one day when he looked in the mirror. Two reflections in the mirror?
Come on.
What? So does that mean you look in the mirror and then there's like another you standing next to you also looking in the mirror?
Or is it just like a slightly shifted you?
I was thinking, that's what first came to my mind, but the two people looking in the mirror at the same time makes more sense.
And one of them has black hair and one had gray hair, because negative.
Abraham Lincoln claimed that one was paler, say 5 shades paler. That boy Abe knew his colors, boy. That's who I want to run the country. a color-educated boy.
I know all the shades of white and paleness. I think that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades.
And his wife became very worried that the fact his doppelganger had appeared to be so pale was a very bad omen. And that boy ended up getting blackballed out of play. Wow. Stupid John Wilkes Booth. Why'd you have to do it to the man? He'd still be alive to this day.
Would he?
No.
I was gonna say, the best president of all time would have been alive right now?
No, sir.
I don't think that's true.
Not just Abraham Lincoln has seen his doppelganger. There are also other cultural figures that have. In 1600, Queen Elizabeth I saw her doppelganger lying in her bed motionless.
Wake up!
I'm trying to go to sleep. What the hell?
What's going on?
I'm already sleeping.
Can you roll over, please? I have no room to lay my head for slumber.
What if you cuddled with yourself?
I think you'd die instantly, right?
I don't know. Her supine doppelganger was described as pallid, shivered, and wan, which shocked the Virgin Queen. Elizabeth, known to be level-headed, strong of will, and savvy, would have known better than to attribute the apparition to spirits and superstition, but she still knew that folklore considered such an occurrence a bad sign. She died shortly thereafter. Unreal.
Unreal. I don't understand. So she saw herself in her bed and she said, "You see me sleeping in your bed? No, I'm not sleeping. I'm dead. That's you."
That's you rather soon, madam.
Rather soon.
Madam Queen Elizabeth.
Queen, would you like some tea and death?
Oh my god. There's yet another famous figure that has seen their doppelganger, yes sir. In 1796, the Empress of Russia, Catherine the Great, was awakened one night by her servants who were surprised to see her in her bed. They told her that they had just seen her in the throne room. In disbelief, Catherine proceeded to the throne room to see what they were talking about. She saw herself sitting on the throne. She ordered her guards to shoot at the doppelganger, of course. The doppelganger must have been unscathed, but Catherine died of a stroke just weeks after that. I don't know about you, Hunter, but I see a correlation here with when you see yourself and it's not you, the first instinct is to order or to cause its death.
Okay.
You know? Why is that the instinct? I'm confused.
Maybe if you don't try to kill your doppelganger, you would not die.
Make a deal with that man. Be like, hey, listen here, sir. I know what you're here for. I know what you're telling me. But let's be friends. Let's live this life as long as we can.
Hey, bud. Hey, listen. You saw me. I saw you. Let's just forget it happened.
Exactly. Just go on with your life, you know?
Sure.
Hunter, you won't believe this. There's yet another famous figure, that has seen their doppelganger. Well, at least we're not famous.
Who was it? Tell me. I said tell me.
In France in the 19th century, Emily Sage, a 32-year-old school teacher, apparently, that's not a famous person.
You're just a school teacher. Sorry, bud.
Sorry, not the school teachers are any less than a normal person, but you're not a queen. Or are you a queen? We don't know.
Or a president.
Apparently had a doppelganger that was witnessed several times in one of the most interesting doppelganger records. One of her students, Julie von Franceword, reported...
What is the word? I want to know.
Okay, yeah, one of her students, that girl, reported the several appearances. On one such appearance, as Sage was writing on the chalkboard while teaching her class of 13 students, her double appeared, standing alongside her. That's creepy. It was her exact image, except that it wasn't holding a piece of chalk. All students claimed to have seen it. What if they're just playing a little prank on their teacher,
A little prank? Oh, let's get a hologram machine.
But she didn't see it. Her students did. What if they're just like, hey, after this lecture, everyone, let's tell Miss Emily, we just saw a W. Not the letter, but another one of you.
We just saw two of you. One chalked hard and one chalked 0.
Anyways, on another occasion, all of the school's 42 student girls were in the school hall for sewing and embroidery class. As they worked, they could clearly see Sage in the school's garden gathering flowers. However, when the girls' teacher left the room for a moment, Sage's doppelganger appeared, sitting motionless in the teacher chair. Two girls tried to touch the apparition, but were met with an odd resistance and were were unable to penetrate the air surrounding the entity. What a word choice there. Let me just penetrate the air. When you walk, do you penetrate the air constantly?
I guess so. Let me penetrate this door frame.
Everybody's getting some penetration. Whether it be the air,
it's like when you stick your hand into the fridge to grab an ice cold beverage. Are you penetrating the fridge? So when they went to go touch her, it was like a negative, sticky resistance.
It was like a magnet, you know?
A magnet,
one of those
but you
things.
could still kind of just push your hand right on through her. And it was just the crazy feeling, maybe? Like air mixed with spider webs?
It was like a resistance, like when you put, is it two negative magnets? Yeah, two negative or two positive where they just resist each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like bouncy. That's weird.
So she was a bouncy lady.
Hey, teacher that I could have sworn was in the garden. Let me touch you real quick. I can't.
I'm bouncing off you.
When did this become an X-rated podcast?
How is bouncing off of someone X-rated? I'm bouncing off of you.
Why were you on me in the first place? Moving on, before we get in trouble. Yeah, one girl stepping between the teacher's chair and the table passed through the apparition, which then slowly vanished. The girls noticed that on the arrival of the doppelganger, Sage looked suddenly very tired as she worked in the garden. Sage declared that she had never seen the apparition, but admitted that when it was present, she felt drained of energy. The girls noticed that their teacher became pale during the doppelganger's visits. Once again, what if this was just a school prank?
Okay.
And to the point where Sage believed this occurrence, and she was like, yeah, I was feeling pretty pale and tired.
I was feeling pretty pale and tired. No, it was not because I was in the hot sun gardening.
No, it's not because I just took some heroin before class, children.
I don't think that's, I mean, whatever has to get you through the day, but I don't think that has anything to do with her gardening rituals.
What if she just wanted to get doped up and garden during school hours?
Jacob, I don't know about you, but when I get, as the kids say, doped up, I don't feel like gardening. Just kidding, I don't get doped up.
Yeah, that was a joke.
That was a joke.
We are a drug-free podcast.
A drug-free area.
Indeed. Unless caffeine's a drug. That's a daily consumption.
Yes. While many people today still believe in the existence of a double self, some scientists believe that phenomenon occurs purely in the brain, is based on injuries or stimulation to certain parts of the brain, which cause errors in spatial reasoning.
So you're telling me you see yourself when you're a crazy boy?
That doesn't sound good.
Beautifully written, Siri. Thank you.
What the hell? You messed up my goof.
Others believe it is a result of a vision or hallucination. This may go some way to explaining how people can look in a mirror and believe they are seeing a second image of themselves. But how would those scientists explain the two ladies living hundreds of miles apart, unaware of each other, and yet seemingly so in tune with each other and so alike physically? There is another theory, and possibly one that is a modern times of open-mindedness, is even more disturbing than a supernatural explanation. What if we exist in a parallel universe in which everything in this world is replicated in another dimension, and in some way, at certain times, for whatever reason, we're able to witness this other dimension? Would this explain feelings of a deja vu? Or meeting someone and feeling like we already know them or have met them before? After all, it's highly unlikely that we are alone in this universe, or even that this is the physicists have. Dear God.
Words are hard sometimes.
Words are confusing.
The letters are moving.
I'm getting a slurry, boy. Or even that this is the only universe in existence. Many experts believe we are just one of many. In fact, physicists have theorized that there could be infinite universes existing next to each other, and that the Big Bang led to other parallel universes being created which now hover just outside of our own. Columbia University physicist Brian Greene,
Why did you say it like that?
I don't know. It has an E at the end. Author of the book The Hidden Reality, Parallel Universes, and the Deep Laws of the Cosmos, says that the latter theory supports the idea that we all have doppelgängers. I think that we all got doppelgängers, and they're chilling there in their other galaxy, right?
Yeah.
It's you.
And it's doing exactly what you're doing.
But theirs is called the Only Friends on Thursday podcast because that was the only time they were friends. Maybe?
Maybe they're doing exactly what we're doing right now, discussing the same exact topic we are talking about right now. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Do you think our doppelgangers speak a different language?
No.
No?
No.
But if it's a different galaxy?
Not necessarily.
Oh man, that's...
Because there's probably a planet exactly like Earth somewhere.
The argument for doppelgangers is pretty straightforward, assuming that space goes on infinitely far in an infinite chunk. Matter can only arrange itself in an infinite number of ways, like cards in a deck. You and I are just a configuration of particles, Jacob.
Whoa, don't say my name.
You're a particle boy.
So are you, Hunter.
We are. So sooner or later, we're going to repeat.
Glad we agree.
Matter can almost repeat its configuration, but not repeat it identically. Your physical body may repeat, but your mental configuration can be a little different. So there might be an evil version of you. Ooh, spooky.
Dear God.
Hit that note, didn't I?
That boy got up there. What an octave you achieved, sir.
There could also be a version of you or me that loves skydiving or bungee jumping. Something me and you might not actually do. So we can see that the idea of the doppelganger goes far beyond folklore and ancient superstitions. Whatever the real truth may be, belief in the spirit double has instilled both fear and wonder in people for thousands of years and will no doubt continue to do so. After all, the wonder of life is surely its mystery. If there is another you or another me out there, then no one is special or unique. And that thought is possibly one of the most terrifying. So Jacob, how does that make you feel? That you might not just be you, there might be another you out there.
Oh man, I don't know how that makes me feel because I still feel like me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's not like, oh man, I don't know. It doesn't make me feel bad. Like, I can see how it makes some people feel bad.
Right.
But, because I'm still making my own decisions.
So you don't care as long as you don't meet yourself.
Yeah.
As long as you're not shaking your corporeal hand.
What a word choice that was, corporeal. What does that mean? Give us a definition. It's like it means gigantic or something.
Corporeal, relating to a person's body, especially as opposed to their spirit.
So, do you use that in the right context? Corporeal hand?
That was like your spirit hand?
Let's shake hands, but on a spiritual level. I want to feel your spirit when I shake your hand, sir.
I want to feel your spirit coursing through your fingers.
How does one summon their spirit through their fingers? That's the real question that we...
I think that is the definition of jazz hands.
Oh, so you're telling me those sparkly gloves are like a beacon for your spirit, boy.
Exactly.
Goodness. Hey, Hunter.
Yeah.
You want to hear a story about these said doppelgangers?
You know it.
This story is found on the wonderful website, Reddit.
Reddit.gov?
.com.
Oh.
This is not a government-established website.
Okay, well.
Or is it? We'll never know. It's titled, I didn't open the door. I did not let the dogs out, if you will. It's by the Reddit user, The Food Elevator.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The Food Elevator. Let's begin. I was about 10 years old or so, and my brother and I were staying at my dad's place for the weekend. My parents are divorced, goodness, and we used to stay there every other weekend. It was fun. Anyway, it was business as usual. We woke up, my dad made us breakfast, and then him and my brother left to go run some errands. I was just sitting there, grazing on whatever I had left of my food and watching TV when there was a knock at the door. Knock, knock, who's there? Now, my dad lived in an apartment and no one ever knocked on the door. I think I only heard one person knock on the door the whole time I've ever been there. Also, this was about half an hour after they had left, so there was no way they'd be back this early, and so naturally, I was scared as flip. Stranger danger and such. We know Reddit user, Food Elevator, we know. So I dragged the chair over the door so I could look out the people, and standing there was my dad, except it wasn't quite my dad.
Daddy? Is that you?
Not quite. It's weird to explain, but this man looked 100% like my dad. Same height, same weight, same red cheeks, same blonde/gray balding hair. Everything seemed the same. He was even carrying grocery bags with him. Except after a second or two, I realized that not everything was right. The first thing that I noticed was my brother wasn't with him. That was weird. The second thing, he was wearing different clothes than when he left. Maybe he was hot and needed to change.
He was wearing jeans, now he's wearing jorts.
Jorts are a stylish preference of some people.
Jean shorts.
Exactly. For those of you who do not know. Whoever or whatever was standing outside the door was wearing a blue athletic pullover thing, and when my dad left, he was wearing a gray tannish collared shirt. So obviously, I knew something was up. Also, I knew that if he was able to get into the building itself, he would obviously have the rest of the keys with him. They were all on the same ring, and keys just don't magically fall off of those things. I can barely even take them off or put them on, and I am a fully functional adult. Sounds like you have a key issue, if we're being honest.
You have a key issue.
I have a key issue, doppelganger. Let's blame it on someone else. The first step to solving a problem
Oh,
is
me?
admitting
No.
you have one.
No. It was not me. It was the doppelganger. He did it. He forgot to take the trash out.
I like how this user goes into detail about how difficult it is to take a key off the key ring, as if it was significant to the story.
I always had trouble taking a key off a key ring.
So do I, but
Is the trick that you have to grow your nails out a certain length to get your...
every time I take one off or put one on, I just bend the flip out of the key ring and it's broken.
It's broken forever?
Yeah.
Me, it's like every time I take a key off a key ring, I'm bleeding somehow.
The key stabbed me. And now I'm just sitting there realizing that whatever is just inches away from me is not my dad, even though it looks like it could be his twin. And I'm scared as flip. After a few more seconds, this man began to look very frustrated and just walked away. But when he walked away, he went to the right. That way only leads to a door that's always locked from the inside and leads to a path that runs alongside a cemetery.
Are you living near a cemetery?
Why would you do such a thing?
No, that door's locked because of the pet cemetery in the backyard. Is that what you're saying?
Now imagine being 10 years old and seeing something that you thought was your parent but knew for a fact that it wasn't. I didn't know what to think. And honestly, I still don't know what to think. I've heard stories of doppelgangers and whatnot, but I've never been a believer of that type of stuff. I don't know what I saw. All I know is that I'm just so goddamn glad I didn't open the door to let it in. What do you think of that story, Hunter?
I think that was a crazy story. I think the story literally should just have the definition of who's your daddy.
Not that boy at the door.
Not that guy. He went into a locked door. Freaking.
What if he had the key? You know?
What if he gyrated quick enough, his particles expanded, and he just walked right through, right?
I think that's how they work.
I think that's how particles go.
Particles go through particles.
Go, particles, go.
They have particle intercourse.
Okay, so how, if I ever wanted to walk through a wall,
Yes.
my particles would have to do the do quick enough so I could walk through?
Do the do with the particles that weren't your own? Possibly. We don't know how particles work.
I don't think so, but I think that story was great in the sense of who can you trust? What if you see...
This is getting deep, huh?
It is. What if you see your best friend, Dan, Global Dan, and you're having a conversation with him and then you realize it's not him? How do you know who is who?
So what I've taken from the story is always remember what your peers are wearing when they leave.
Always remember your daddy's clothes.
Or your friend's clothes.
Or your mom's clothes.
Especially your mom's clothes.
Jacob will always remember your mom's clothes.
The question for this Friday, do you or do you not believe in doppelgangers?
Me as a human being think doppelgangers do exist.
Do you?
Now, in the extent of what we discussed, I don't think that that's how they are. I don't know if I believe that when you see them, you kind of die, or, you know, you see them and that's a you ghost or a non-ghost. I think that there is a future and a past, and that them boys are in an alternate reality. I think that, like, future Jacob could time travel maybe, and that would be the doppelganger you would see.
Whoa, you just opened a path in my mind to a new possibility. That did not cross my mind that your doppelganger, in quotation marks on paper, could actually be you in the past or the future. Not necessarily the past because you didn't exist then. Or what if it was like a year in the past?
Yeah, exactly.
And you in the future time travel to the past. So yeah, you in the past or the future is paying yourself a visit.
Yeah. What if there's another dimension of where the past you was smarter than the present you, and they came back to say, hey, bud, don't download Pokemon Go. That's not the way that your life should go.
That boy has a flow. Rapper.
You already know.
I see where you're coming from. So let me just clarify. So you think a doppelganger is a being from an alternate universe that is yourself?
Yes, sir.
That is paying you a visit to give you advice and or demonstrate.
Either audibly or non-audibly help you or warn you.
Okay, I can see that.
But it seems like all the doppelgangers we talked about, they died.
They did die.
They died after they saw
shortly after. Okay, so is it a yes or no from you?
I think they do exist. Have I seen one? No. But
Do you want to?
no.
Okay.
Because then that means that something's gonna happen. I've been keeping something from you this entire podcast.
What's that?
I actually brought my doppelganger here to be on the podcast. Come on in.
Did you? Would you
Come
look
on
at
in.
that
Give him a round of
boy?
applause. Give him a round of applause.
Look at that man.
Would you like to
Wow.
say? Would you like to say a few words? Hello. My name is Hunter, obviously, and I was here to warn Hunter that he's gotta lose some pounds or else he's gonna be in trouble. That's about it.
Interesting.
So thank you, Hunter, for being on this podcast with us. Jacob, did you bring your doppelganger?
I tried to get in contact with mine, but unfortunately he had a family event going on this evening.
Did he? Gosh.
Unfortunately, so he could not make it.
That sucks. So is your family doing an event without you? Is that what that means?
It must mean something.
Hey, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about doppelgangers?
I think, yes, they do exist. I don't know how to explain them, whether it be time travel or parallel universe, or the fact that there's an infinite amount of space in this universe and there has to be someone just like me. I do believe they exist.
There's an infinite amount of square feet.
We will never find the ends, will we? Who knows? It'll be past our time, but this podcast will still be here. Hey, you. If you're listening in the year 2477, we appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
Thanks for keeping us around for so long.
If you haven't already subscribed on iTunes,
go ahead. I mean, it doesn't matter to us at this point because we are dead and gone.
but it matters to our doppelganger.
That is still kicking somewhere in this vast universe. But yes,
Shall we end this podcast?
we shall. My name is Jacob.
That is not
how it goes.
We do that.
That's not it.
So I think that wraps this up. So that's 2 votes yes. Doppelgangers exist, right, Jacob?
They sure do, as far as the of community is concerned.
As far as the eye can see.
Hey, leave your opinion on this post on Instagram.
Sure.
Tell us how you feel. Tell us if you've seen your doppelganger. Tell us if you have any theories of your own. We would love to hear them. And also tell us if you have any ideas for the next podcast. We are open to all ideas.
All ideas and suggestions. If you've seen your doppelganger, comment that boy down in the comments. And
Yes.
then also, if you've seen someone else's doppelganger, comment that.
Exactly. And if you're wondering, hey, I'd like to comment, where do I do so? Our Instagram is of_podcast. That is OFOF_podcast. The post will be up. You will see it.
You will see that beautiful, beautiful picture and description of this podcast. You can also tweet at us at of podcast. That is at OFOF podcast on Twitter. And then like us on Facebook. Only Friends on Friday on Facebook.
Indeed.
And then wherever you write us, we'll look at that thing. Then we'll consider that thing as a awesome thing.
And and hey, if your story's good enough, or if your suggestion is good and we use yours, we'll give you a little shout out before the podcast. We'll mention the topic and say this was a suggestion from blankety blank blank. So please give us some suggestions. We're open.
Like us, tweet us, Insta us.
Send us a DM.
DM. Say, yo.
What's up, home dog?
Sure.
Or what's up, my friend? However you talk, we're open.
Okay. Oh my god. This is dragging.
My name is Jacob.
My name is Hunter.
And we are Only Friends on Friday.
Only Friends on Friday podcast. Here it was. Here it is. We are City Boys.
City boys, we've made it.
Hey, you. How's your mom?
Tell her we miss her. Yes, sir.
Whoa. Hey, that's not your mom. That's her doppelganger.